Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I am Dhruv Sharma. In this video, we are going to learn about the physical layer and its functionality. So as I told you in the syllabus of computer science, we are going to cover the OSI model and their layers. Okay. So from the bottom, the first layer is physical layer. The physical layer, basically, I told you that physical layer is a layer to which process the data or which convert the data. Like for an example, data conversion is like the languages. Okay, digital signal to analog, analog to digital. Okay, so basically, for I am giving an example, simple example for understanding the physical layer. Like there is a sender S and there is a receiver R. Okay, fine. It sends the data and it receives the data. You already know. Okay, so the last layer of this sender address who basically transmit the data is physical layer, and who receiving the data at that point, the first layer for that receive the data is physical layer. So the difference in the sender then the sender part and then the sender part, the last layer is physical layer, and for the receiver part the first layer is physical layer. Okay, so because as I told you, it converts the data. If it is giving the digital signal, then it converts into the analog signal. Okay, now physical. So now there are some functionality which transmit the data from this to this. So there is also one example I have given here, that there are as there I told you, there are 7 layers. So physical layer, then a data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. These are the upper layers. Okay, for then that. Okay, so as a user is there, okay, who send the data. Okay, so it goes from application, presentation, session, transport, network, then data link layer. So data link layer, the data is now at the stage of data link layer. So from the data link layer, there is a data in the form of like bit. Okay, it goes to the physical layer. Then the physical layer, then it transmit the basically it converts the data. It transmit firstly, it sender an address, it transmit the data to receiver in the form like this. These are the signals, or these are the, we can say, transmitting modes. Okay, ticket transmitting modes. Okay, so basically it is in the form of bit. It converts into digitally or analogly, an analog signal. Maybe it is a we can say it converted in a digital signal or a analog signal. Then it transmitted to the receiving side. Okay, to the data link layer. So to do this process, we use their functionalities like cables, connectors, topologies, okay, hardware, transmission modes, multiplexing, and encoding. So now one by one we are going to learn about this. So cables are, we read in the previous semester about the coaxial, optical fiber. These types of cable we use to transmit the data. Connectors are basically you read in UTP, STP. These are the protocol connectors which are used to transmit the data in a smooth way. Okay, now it also uses some topologies. You already know what are the different topologies, like bus topology, it use ring topology, star topologies. Okay, in the next video we are going to cover these physical topologies. Okay, now the most important part, it use hardware also. Like in these layers, application, presentation, transport, network, and the data link layer, it mostly works on the software. It basically use software to convert the data. Okay, but in physical layer it uses both hardware and software both. So hardware, it use repeaters and hubs. Repeaters are those which basically during the transmission of data, the if the data is in bulk on a large amount and it is transmitting, then the signal will be weak. So to strong that signal, we use repeaters. Okay, hub, basically what is hub? Basically it acts like a server. Okay, it transmits the data from that to that part. Okay, Now what is hub? Now what is hub? Hub basically we can say these it can multi point connection. It provides multi point connection system. Okay, it provides the multi point connection system. It provides to transmitting the data frequently in a smooth way with a strong connection. The transmitting modes are basically you read about the simplex. Yeah, we are going to. I also discuss the simplex and half simplex in next video, in the upcoming videos, in a detailed way. Okay, it uses simplex and half simplex methods, and in the multiplexing you already know what is multiplexing. Multiplexing is there is a single channel is there which is transmitting the data. So and this is for an example, this is a signal A. Okay, signal channel A. So at a different frequency we can transmit data, more data in a smooth way and in a frequently way in a single channel only. We do not use multiple channels for the multiple data. We can transmit multiple data in a single channel at a different frequency. Okay. There is a use of multiplexing and encoding. I told you it converts encoding, basically encode the language, like encode the signal digital to analog, analog to digital. Okay, so these are the functionalities of the physical layer, and I told you what is physical layer, what is physical layer and their functionalities. So in the next video we are going to learn about the other, like I told you, the topologies, cables, connectors and the hardware in more detail. Okay, thank you.